ho, 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 ho. Yes, this is what I need in life. Yes. Hey guys, what's going on? Back here to black out the frame. So what we're going to be using is Gatorskinz Soft Touch. We're going to be touching this aluminum frame up with acetone, and then prepping it with Gatorskinz's little adhesion promoter. I think it's etch wash with xylene mix. I tried to figure out what it is, but whatever it is, it really works very well. Like the best adhesion promoter I've had. So I've had a few problems with the frame. I'd also like to thank Totable for sending me that stuff, including the pour foam, which is now in the pockets. I ran a little light. It actually takes a lot more than I thought, so I'm gonna have to be buying more anyways. But whatever, it was very cool for them to kind of just give me that, and after they saw the last video. That's what any company does. That's a good company. They just try to back the product. Hey, try it this way, and here's some more stuff. That's what we would do. And so I actually had a complete unboxing breakdown of the products and everything, and I had myself applying all the pour foam, and then my GoPro, I think, malfunctioned due to the sheer amount of heat in the garage. I think it's done for. I have to go buy a new one. Right now it's obscenely hot in the garage in the shade. If I have my hand on that aluminum for too long, it's like too hot. Like it's ridiculous. Like nothing wants to work. My phone keeps overheating. I'm recording on my phone right now trying to show you this, but it's a struggle. I don't release a whole lot of videos in the summertime, not because I'm quitting YouTube, but just because recording and building in the summer sucks. You know what? So we're just gonna tell you what I'm doing here. After prepping the frame with acetone, and then again I went over it with alcohol just to make sure. We're using that Gatorskinz adhesion promoter I had in my hand. Honestly, that stuff is the best stuff I've ever used as far as an adhesion promoter for anything with an adhesive backing. It sticks right to it. And this Gatorskinz Soft Touch, it's really thin, like rubber tape. So you can't stick the most crazy adhesive backing on it like you can with their non-skid. So anything that helps it promote and stick to the frame is great. This is a strip of it right now. I only have strips. I have this super finite scrap piece left. I wasn't even gonna black the frame out, but then somebody talked me into it. So now we're blacking out the frame. But we're just doing it in spots carefully. Normally when you get a whole roll, you want to get a fairly big roll that'll cover the longest strip you have. That way you don't have breaks. Right now I have a break, so I have to cut this. But there's a grid all along everything. It's like one big giant grid, the tape is. So you just gotta line it up and cut and splice and then stick it right in there, and we can just mash a piece right up there next to it. I have all these scrap pieces left over from prior builds, and they're all coming out. Like I've depleted my Gatorskinz Soft Touch like reserve. It's done for. Right here, I tweaked that. That wasn't initially what I was gonna do, so I have a plan in my head. And see, you see everything that looks really nice and pristine in there. It's because I planned it that way. But then I'm always like, well, let's try this and this, and that's when it starts getting a little effed. You know, not looking a whole real great. If you guys want to, like, you know, throw a comment down there like saying, Mike, what's all this bootleg crap? You know, I wouldn't even fight you on it. I know some of this is not that great. If this is a customer's boat, I definitely would take a lot of this off. But because it's my boat, because it's really hot, I just don't care. I mean, judge me if you want. It's okay. But it is just, I could work for like an hour, maybe two at a time. I had to go back inside and like rest. Like I worked for 10 hours. So it took me a really long time to do this. This is like a 1 hour job, 2 hour job. It took me all day. Just saying. But it looks pretty clean so far. I did one side and then the middle sections. I had to do the middle sections just like so before I could do the other side. If you do one side and the other side and you try to do the middle sections, I swear it doesn't work the best. It's like it's hard to line up. And that way, if you do the middle sections, you cut them all flush and you know you're going to cut with that piece of tape. By the way, that's all the Gatorskinz Soft Touch I have right there. You saw that little piece out there in my driveway? That's all I got. We're going to somehow stretch that. Just make it stretch like, you know, like a bargain shop in dollar. We're just going to stretch that thing out and make it carpet, or not, you know, black out the whole frame. Yeah, black out. There it is. I blacked out all the crucial parts to where it's all even and all laid out. Some of it was uneven. We will be attacking that later. if you have seams that don't line up right or just whatever, and you want to kind of seam them up, all you need is this stuff. You lay it over each side, and like so you lay right here on each side, and you paint that through, and then you can seam that up. I do the same thing with Gatorskinz, like not the soft touch, but the regular non-skid stuff. Works even better than non-skid, but it still works with this stuff. And so there's only a few finite areas where I even need to do that. But other than that, the application came out all right. But the bigger thing is we're going to also not just black out the frame, we're going to black out the dry hatch lip, and we're going to make that into something else too. Check this out. All right, so this is like door jamb cover. I don't know what it's called. It's been told to me 1,000 times. In fact, I was told when I ordered it. I just can't, my brain doesn't want to like remember what this stuff's called, but it's like something. I'll put the link in the description, but it's awesome. I mean, it just goes around the corners. It fits perfectly around this 1/16 inch angle, and it fits nice. And because like we slightly lose a little bit of, you know, raised area because we skinned the whole frame, that immediately gets compensated when we put this stuff on. It's also just a little bit nicer, more aesthetically pleasing, and a little bit more safe, just in case a finger gets caught in there or something and a hatch slams on it. I mean, that aluminum will just knife off whatever. So pretty cool. I think it's looking pretty good so far. It's giving it a complete different edge. And if I'd had the foresight to paint these hinges black, you really can't even tell at first glance that this is an aluminum frame. It just looks completely nice. And it really, if you really want to make this like show quality, you go and get some Pledge, the stuff you clean the wooden furnitures up, get a little rag, wipe all that up, and it looks all pro. Noise. Truck's up there. I got to go pack up to go to Georgia today. But I want to give you a quick overview of what we got here. Here it is, all put together. The edge stuff is rimmed. Those compartments, I just kind of wanted to wait until I poured the foam to turf those compartments. A little bit more turf. Sorry I couldn't show you how well this stuff that Total Bolt sent me worked. It worked like a gem, worked like it always does, proving that the last batch was just a freak accident of stuff. And then I just ran out though, so I tried to merge styrofoam and that stuff together. It didn't come out so good, so I'll probably have to I'll be getting more, but I'm not gonna order more right now. I won't be back home for like a little bit of time. So cool things coming up. We're gonna start trimming up the electric. I just wanted all this done, and we can finally move on to the deck. The deck is such an energy and mind intensive project that I just wanted to dedicate my full attention to it. I'll be seaming these up with that liquid tape. I'll be doing whatever I had to do. That's all that's left of the one piece. But what it does show you is just that it just takes a little bit, and you can black out a whole frame if you don't mind putting it in segments. But if you want like clean lines and no breaks like that break there, then you really need to order a lot. By the way, it looks very good, I think. Pretty. And then once you see the terminal panels on, we're gonna make the terminal panels out of Cusa board right there. My wife will be happy to see those go. And then the rest of the frame is gonna be aluminum. It'll be a mixture of Gen 7 hatches and Gen X hatches. And really that's where we're gonna tell whether or not we really kind of screwed up and made this boat too heavy. Like even with the battery in there, I lift it up right now and it's pretty good. And so that one battery, I'm gonna end up getting a lithium battery that weighs probably about 60 pounds. That's a probably 60-pound battery. I'm gonna get a lithium battery, 300 volt, 300 amp hours. It's gonna have enough output at 12 volts to power all my 12 volt accessories. And that's including the trolling motor and whatever all together. And so when we're doing that right there wasn't too terribly heavy. And so I'm just thinking, I'm also got ideas about making a trailer extension, because the more leverage you have up front to pick it up, the easier it is to pick up. So something that'll slide into this and maybe come over the top. I've seen them like a little, and I'm gonna show you it, and then we're gonna do that. But this thing will be fantastic. I can't wait for it to be done. I'm excited now. I really not a fan of 12-foot boats personally, but I am now. So stay tuned. All right, so the next time you see me, I'll be in Georgia with Ryan and the crew and everybody there. We're trying to make our big meetup. We're trying to blow the tin can crew up. We're all older, we all have lives, we all have jobs, but we're really trying to do it. So we'll see you guys out there. If you're in South Carolina, in Charleston, hit us up on Saturday. We'll be there. See ya.